worldorphanmycreed, speaking about the problems with not just our people, but practically the world, especially in the United States. McCreed is one who doesn't believe in evil. McCreed is one who realizes that every so-called evil deed is a reaction out of selfishness. And the reason why we have all of this turmoil out here, failed relationships, niggas killing each other, robberies, rapes, is because you have selfish people who are not concerned with anyone other than themselves. The world is their stage, and everybody in it is an actor. And when somebody doesn't play the role that this person has cast them as in their own mind, it's a conflict inside. So what people will do is they just discard them. And it's definitely rooted in the history of the United States with cattle slavery, where people were looked at as property and not humans. I'm not talking about slavery because slavery has existed from the beginning of man. But cattle slavery is something different. Cattle slavery took everything that was you, destroyed it, and made you property. And we have adopted that twisted philosophy, that narcissistic, self-centered philosophy. So we have no values for anybody, even ourselves. We validate ourselves by the extension of our ego. My kids did that. My boyfriend, girlfriend does this. My friends do this. My job does this, and that makes me great. Being selfish, there will be no progress of human development because you're afraid of the conflicts that's necessary to develop the human mind. It's a conflict when I see my godson to struggle up the stairs, uh, learn how to talk. It's a conflict, and he embraces these conflicts. So when we're dealing with people, we have to embrace those conflicts because those conflicts help us grow as people. But you won't deal with somebody's conflict if you're self-centered and self-serving. You can't look at another person and feel like you own them or they're a cast in your stage play. That's just not a realistic concept because people are people. They have their own experiences. You should just look at it as sharing an experience with somebody. You can't love anything that you own. Somebody say, well, this is my woman or my man's or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they really feel like they own them. And when that person stops functioning as they want them to, as far as doing what makes them legitimate in their world, then they cut them off. Or they feel like I gotta get them back. They treat them like a pair of fucking shoes or a TV. If the shoes and the TV stop working for you, you get rid of them. And this is why you have people in and out of relationships, short-term relationships. And I know this to be true because I live like that. I lived a very lonely, in and out of different skirts lifestyle at one time. It's something I still struggle with. I lived like that in high school when I used to smoke a lot of marijuana. After I stopped smoking weed, I saw niggas stray away from me, for I served no purpose. Dudes that I thought was my homeboys. And honestly, I strayed away from certain of them because they had no purpose for me. So I definitely understand this mentality. And I also understand that this mentality is what leads to everything vile that you see. Just think about it. We must deprogram our value system. We must do that sooner than later. This is for all people, but especially for the world orphan black people. Deprogram from that mentality, that narcissistic self-serving mentality. Because when you're serving yourself, there's no limit that you won't go to get what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be very difficult because one, you have a lot of conditioning, and two, you are a black vessel, meaning you're absorbent and sensitive to every vibration and rhythm around you. And when everybody is on this selfish mentality and everybody is on this selfish frequency, that's tapping into you. So it's a dynamic. But are you going to be an example? You know what I'm saying? And give what you know is right, or give what is you? Or are you going to be a product of somebody else's willpower? And this is also an eternal war. This is an eternal war to put your selfishness in check. You know, balance it out. Yeah, serve yourself sometimes, but balance it out. Serve something greater than yourself. Serve something lesser than yourself. Serve something potentially greater than yourself. That could be a child, a person, a cause that you know is good. World Orphan McCreed. That's what it is.